You're on the Spartan Basketball Network. Tonight, Judd Heathcote and his Spartans are in Columbus, Ohio to take on the Buckeyes of Ohio State University. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis. Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. Now let's go courtside to Dave Bing and Bob Kurtz.
Ohio State defeated Northwestern 30.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Spartan basketball. Tonight, the Spartans taking on the Buckeyes of Ohio State here at St. John Arena in Columbus. Hi again, I'm Bob Kurtz, along with Dave Bing, and the Spartans tonight, David, come in with a 2-3 Big Ten record this year. They started this road trip with a pretty decent performance, I felt, down at Bloomington on Thursday night, but they lost to Bobby Knight and the Hoosiers 89-85. And Judd Heathcote has been saying that he doesn't want to go home to East Lansing 2-4, because if you get 2 games below 500 in the Big Ten early, you seem like you're struggling to catch up all year long.
I think Judd can speak to that better than anybody, probably, and I'm in total agreement with him that he needs a split on this road trip, and this is a good place as any to start it. They don't have another choice. Ohio State has been playing pretty good basketball, surprisingly to me, because they lost an outstanding player last year to the pro ranks. But Tony Campbell, the junior out of Teaneck, New Jersey, seems to have picked things up, and he's playing extremely well, and they've got an outstanding trio of guards in the backcourt. So I don't feel that Michigan State can afford to get behind. If they do, the quickness in Ohio State's backcourt will be to their advantage, and they're also an extremely good free throw shooting team.
Well, that one player that Dave was referring to, none other than Clark Kellogg, the Buckeyes were sort of a surprise team in the Big Ten last year. No one expected him to do much after Herb Williams and Jim Smith had moved out of here. But whammo, they came back with a 21-10 team, qualified for the NCAAs, but were upset by James Madison, of all people, in the first round, 55-48. But now, as you mentioned, they have 4 starters back from last year. They beat Michigan here the other night, 75-68, and things are going fairly well.
You know, reading the papers in the last couple of days that we've been here, I don't think Coach Eldon Miller was extremely happy with this team's performance in the last 3 or 4 games. They weren't playing well. They had lost 2 games in the Big Ten, but they came home against Michigan and played extremely well. One of the guys in particular was Tony Campbell. And Tony was in a little bit of a slump, but he's a guy that I noticed last year has outstanding scoring ability, and he's a guy that's going to be contended with tonight. Michigan State's going to have to play good defense on him.
Well, how about the big man in the middle, Kevin Willis? We seem to be talking more and more about Kevin. He had 19 points in Indiana, and he's matched up against a guy tonight, Granville Waiters, where he should hold the advantage.
I would think Kevin would hold the advantage against Granville. They're pretty much the same kind of players, but I think Kevin has superior talent. Granville at 6'11", 220, 225 or so, is not a great inside threat, I don't think. And Kevin's strength is not as an inside threat offensively either. But he's been scoring extremely well. He's playing much more confident, and he's leading the Big Ten in rebounding. So I think he's coming to his own, and he's going to have to be contended with also.
That was bombs away down at Bloomington, as those fans of you who were with us remember. Sam Vincent, 29 points.
Sam played extremely well, not only because he scored 29 points, but he played a very, very intelligent floor game, I think. They didn't give him anything easy, and he was taking what the defense was giving him. As long as he doesn't force anything, the next 2 years that, I hope the next 2 years we'll see him at Michigan State, that, you know, he's going to have just a great career before it's over.
Okay, what do the Spartans have to do to win tonight?
I personally feel that they're going to have to get out, and they can't afford to get behind. I think that's going to be a key. They started in a zone against Indiana the other night, and it was not the right thing to do, in my opinion, simply because of the good perimeter shooters that Indiana possess. I don't think the same thing is true with Ohio State. I don't think they're quick enough to probably play man-to-man for an extended period of time against Ohio State. So I think a zone would probably be a good weapon, a good ploy against Ohio State tonight. Then they've got to try and get the ball inside, because I don't think that Ohio State is extremely strong inside. If they can get any one of the big guys in foul trouble, they're going to be in good shape.
Okay, some scores from this afternoon in the Big Ten. The big upset, Wisconsin taking care of Iowa 65-62. We'll be talking about that. Brad Sellers leading Iowa in that, or leading Wisconsin rather in that one with a total of 16 points. And at Bloomington, Indiana, it was the Indiana Hoosiers taking care of Michigan 93-76. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the tip-off of tonight's ball game coming up next here on the Spartan Basketball Network.
yourselves.
The Story Olds Datsun Showcase, featuring 2 ways you can save. First, you save with our low prices. And now, the new GMAC 11.9% financing. Stop in and let us show.
Bob Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at St. John Arena in Columbus. We're getting set for the opening tip-off of tonight's basketball game featuring the Spartans against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Again, in Big Ten action this afternoon, Indiana beat Michigan 93-76. Michigan now has still not won in Indiana since 1965. That was a 38-32 game at the half. The Hoosiers hitting 20 of 22 free throws in the first half, and then put on a 10-point spurt to start the second half to bury the Wolverines. Randy Whitman and Ted Kitchell each wound up with 22 points. Eric Turner adding 18 for Michigan as you look at Eldon Miller in his 7th year here as coach at Ohio State. The other ball game, Wisconsin beat Iowa 65-62. One of the game going in the Big Ten tonight. That'll start in about an hour. It'll feature the Northwestern Wildcats up at Williams Arena in Minneapolis to duel the Golden Gophers. So our Big Ten standings as we come into play this evening, Indiana now all alone in first place with a 4-1 record, followed by Iowa, Minnesota, and Purdue, all at 3-2. Northwestern and Ohio State are at 2-2, followed by Michigan State and Illinois at 2-3. And Michigan and Wisconsin now bring up the rear at 2-4. And those young Badgers, Dave, have now won 2 straight on their home floor.
I think they've got good young talent. I was extremely impressed with Brad Sellers the last 3 times I've seen him play, and he's been an outstanding player thus far in his 2-year career for the Big Ten school.
Introducing the starting lineups now. Michigan State expected to go with Ben Tower, who you see right there on your screen. Larry Pollock up front, along with Kevin Willis, Sam Vincent, and Scott Skiles. And for Ohio State, number 0-0 there is Tony Campbell, who you talked about. Joe Konchak will also be up front. Granville Waiters will be in the post, and Troy Taylor and Larry Huggins expected to start at the guard.
Once again, those guards, I think, are key to Ohio State's success. They're quick, they're smart, they make a lot of things happen. They penetrate, good free throw shooters. I really think this is going to be a challenge to the backcourt of Skiles and Vincent tonight.
Well, they've made a change already, Ohio State has. They're going to go with Clinton Smith, the freshman out of Cleveland John Adams High School. He apparently is going to replace Joe Konchak up front. Kevin Willis there, be at center for Michigan State. There's Granville Waiters. He's been bothered by a infection and has been slow a little bit. Played just 28 minutes the other night against Michigan. Bothered by a virus. Bothered him last week in the road trip to Purdue and Illinois. There's Scott Skiles, the freshman out of Plymouth, Indiana.
Ohio State at guard, number 14, a 6-foot sophomore.
One of the guards you were talking about, Troy Taylor.
Very impressed with him last year. See, he's come on, he's averaging around 15, 16 points this year and playing with a lot of confidence. Very, very quick player.
Sam Vincent with 29 points at Bloomington on Thursday, and there's Larry Huggins, 3-year starter here at Ohio State. So the Buckeyes, who have won 2, lost 2 in the Big Ten, they've beaten Indiana and Michigan, lost to Purdue and Illinois. They're 10-4 overall, and there's the Spartans of MSU. Judd Heathcote, Eldon Miller coming here to Ohio State from Western Michigan, inherited a team that won 6 games. And our officials for tonight: Jim Bain, Ralph Rosser, and Bill Herzog. No relation to Whitey that I'm aware of.
Wrong sport anyway.
There you see it on the left. Campbell and Smith at the forwards, Waiters at center, Taylor and Huggins at the guards for OSU, Tower, Pollock, Willis, Skiles, and Vincent for Michigan State. Not quite a sellout here at Ohio State, but a great building to watch a basketball game in, a great pep band, and they make a lot of noise.
They really do. I tell you, we're down here on this floor right in the middle of all of it, and it's going to be tough to hear each other tonight, I think.
Granville Waiters all set to jump against Kevin Willis. Granville looks like Don Adams used to when he played at Northwestern. Looks about 28, 29 years old.
You're being nice. I can say that because Don is a good friend of mine, but they're not the youngest looking guy.
Tower now with the ball for Michigan State. Off now for Kevin Willis. Willis getting it back out for Larry Pollock.
Ohio State coming right out, playing a good pressure man-to-man defense.
Inside now to Willis over Waiters. Air ball grabbed off by Clinton Smith. Off now for Taylor. Back out for Granville Waiters. Now Larry Huggins. Lost Vincent, puts up the shot and scores.
Looks like both teams are coming right at each other, and they're going to force the pressure. Michigan State also playing in that man-to-man defense.
Sam Vincent now for MSU. Vincent against Huggins, cut off along the baseline, has to shoot it over to Waiters. And we're going to get a souvenir over here as it's tossed out of bounds by Tony Campbell. And the Spartans will play it back in.
We better hope that's not those 2 shots for Michigan State. We surely better hope that's not an indication of the way the night's going to be, because they haven't hit anything.
Well, Waiters led Ohio State with 60 blocks last year. He has 32 blocks this year, and he's forced the first 2 guys to alter their shots tonight.
What they're going to have to do, I think, is try and force the mismatch situation.
Howard, he missed, but oh, Willis comes with a stop.
And we talk about Granville Waiters. That's a great play there by Kevin Willis. But Granville Waiters, who went for the block because he is a big guy with good jumping ability, got himself out of position, could block Kevin Willis off, and he threw that one down.
Now, Judd had been complaining that the Spartans hadn't been getting those offensive rebounds. There's one.
It all depends on where that offense starts. They do a lot of shooting from the outside, and therefore they're out of position for a lot of offensive rebounding. Not the last time.
Huggins now against Sam Vincent. Tied at 2 here with 18 minutes, 20 seconds to go first half. Tony Campbell. He had 23 the other night against Michigan. This is his first shot this evening. Willis out rebounding Waiters. Hitting off now for Sam Vincent. Cleared up now on the left wing to Pollock. Back over now for Skiles. Now Ben Tower in for Willis. There's that Willis-Waiters matchup again. It goes back out for Tower. Rebound taken down by the guard, Taylor.
The key matchup. Taylor pulls up right there. I think he got hit in the face.
Going to go over to the Ohio State bench. Have the team trainer take a look at him. Eldon Miller started at Wittenberg.
Ready to go right now?
Judd Heathcote.
Well, that's going to be a key matchup all night, Taylor and Skiles. Really is, because Taylor, very, very quick player and a good offensive player. I think Scott's got his hands full tonight.
That's Clinton Smith. He walked.
Pretty good defense there. Good position by Larry Pollock. Did not give up the passing lane, and Smith tried to create one and drag that pivot foot doing so.
Edgar Wilson over there. There's the other assistant, Mike Dean. Scott Skiles against Taylor. Cross 10-second line. Skiles getting it in for Willis over Waiters. And Willis now with 4 points in the early going. The Spartans lead by 2.
Talking about somebody with their hands full. I think Waiters is going to have his hands full tonight. No question in my mind about it.
Taylor now for Ohio State. Up along.
That's a good play there by our big man. I think he'd call Troy Taylor for the offensive foul, and if so, it's a good call. Waiting for him on the switch was big Kevin Willis. Let's look at this on the replay again. As Taylor drives around, and all of a sudden he realizes, hey, it's a 7-footer in there. It's not going to be easy for me to get this shot off, and he charged right into Kevin Willis at 7 feet.
Ron Stokes in the ball game replacing Taylor. Stokes and Taylor were backcourt mates for 3 years at Canton's McKinley High School.
I played with a guy from there, Nick Witherspoon.
Are at Illinois as Vincent puts it up and scores.
I'll tell you what, here's another guy that's really coming into his own. Not that he didn't play well last year, but he's playing with so much more confidence. That wasn't an easy shot, but he put it down.
6-2 Michigan State, 16 minutes, 43 seconds to go first half. Clinton Smith. Off now for Granville Waiters. Waiters sat behind Herb Williams for 2 years here. Has got a chance to play the last 2. Tower off for Skiles for Willis.
The big boy, he can really run. I would think Ohio State is going to slow it down and maybe even think about calling timeout. But Stokes bring the ball up into the forecourt, and there's another good steal. Take it all the way. You got the little guy on it.
Tower.
Bad break, bad break. He was up there. They're calling that an offensive interference call. And the Ohio State bench and all the fans here want a tech call on Ben Tower. That should have been an easy 2 for Michigan State.
Now you can hold on to the rim.
We look on the replay there. Yeah, it could have been called.
Granville Waiters.
Crowd gets back into the game. And one thing Kevin is going to have to be careful of is not to allow Granville to establish an easy position close to the basket.
Sam Vincent now for MSU. Takes it inside, dishes off now for Tower. Tower puts the shot up and scores. Ben Tower with his first bucket, and the Spartans back to a 6-point lead.
Ben didn't want the easy one off of the offensive rebound, so he took the tough one going right down the lane, but it counts 2 points.
Larry Huggins. Ron Stokes standing outside that 21-foot three-point marker. Now Huggins. And now for Clinton Smith, back by Pollock.
That's good help out defense here by Sam Vincent.
Tony Campbell dishing off for Granville Waiters. He was stuffed by Pollock. Waiters jams it home.
He got stuffed, then he stuffed one. Granville Waiters at 6'11". Good play, good concentration by him.
Now the Spartan lead is 4. 14 minutes, 43 seconds to go. There's the replay.
On the replay, Waiters goes up strong.
At the other end, Stokes with a steal for OSU, dishing off for Clinton Smith. I'm sorry, Tony Campbell.
That's an excellent fast break by Ohio State, led by Ron Stokes, 5'11" sophomore from Canton, Ohio. Tony Campbell gets up and down the floor. You see on the replay, that's just an excellent fast break. Takes it with the left hand on the right-hand side of the basket and is grabbed and fouled, and is going to try and complete the end of the three-point play.
Who was the foul on? Remember? Anyway, it's the first team foul on Michigan State as Campbell drops the free throw through. So we get a timeout on the floor here with 14 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the first half here on the Spartan Basketball Network. Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio. It's now 10-9 for the Spartans as they prepare to inbound. Derek Perry has checked into the MSU lineup, and Larry Pollock is out of there for the Spartans.
Surprised to see Perry come in right away. The state team was playing pretty well, even though they just gave up 5 straight points. They really were playing pretty decent basketball, I think. Let's see who Derek Perry is going to come in and match up against. I guess it'll be the young freshman, Smith.
Students out in force here tonight at Ohio State. Scott Skiles ready to inbound for MSU.
There we go with a full-court man-to-man press.
Sam Vincent watched by Stokes. Now picked up by Larry Huggins. Off for Ben Tower. Tower for Vincent. The shot was short.
I think that's Granville Waiters. He committed that foul, I believe.
Now he's the first on Waiters, second team foul on Ohio State.
That was a pretty good play set up there by Michigan State. As we see on the replay, Sam couldn't quite get up there, but Willis had the inside position and was fouled by Waiters.
Ben Tower. Tower now with 4, and the Spartans go back to a 3-point advantage.
When Ben Tower got his feet together and he squares off at the basket, he's a pretty good jump shooter. He's got to try and be more consistent trying to get that kind of shot.
Larry Huggins now for OSU. That's Tony Campbell. Shooting over Tower. And Campbell has 5 points.
From Teaneck, New Jersey, Tony Campbell is a good jump shooter, good offensive player.
Sam Vincent now for Michigan State. Vincent, the Spartans' leading scorer, with an average of 16.7. Aided by that 29-point effort at Bloomington. Ben Tower.
There's a mismatch, and that's a good play. Off balance.
Rebound goes to Stokes on the missed shot by Willis. Off now for Campbell. Knocked away, picked off by Derek Perry. Derek Perry, Spartan co-captain, dishing off for Skiles. Skiles over Waiters, and the rebound grabbed off by Smith.
Scott didn't know what to do on that one. He was looking for Willis, I think, and couldn't make up his mind whether to shoot it or pass it, and threw it up kind of tough off the backboard.
Larry Huggins over now for Clinton Smith. Stokes and Skiles. Campbell and Tower. Campbell dishing off for Waiters. Bumped by Willis. The foul will be on Willis. I think it came before the shot.
Yep. What's got to happen? Well, both big men, because they're 7 feet tall, and because they're very good jumpers, they try and block a lot of shots. On the replay here, you see the end of it, but it was a good pass by Tony Campbell. Passed the ball off to Granville Waiters, and he caught Kevin in between. Whether he didn't know whether to try and go and block Campbell's shot. And when he committed to do that, Campbell was very smart and passed the ball off to Waiters on the inside.
Foul was not before the shot. Waiters is getting 2. That's his 5th. 5 points for Waiters. We're tied at 12, and now Ohio State has the lead for the second time. Ohio State had led 2-0, and the Spartans opened up a 6-point lead, 8-2, before the Buckeyes came back.
They showed the full court press and dropped back into their man-to-man.
Ben Tower getting it off now for Kevin Willis. Needed every bit of reach he could get to bring that one back in bounds. Off now for Sam Vincent.
Spreading it back out.
Vincent over Waiters.
Boy, that's a tough shot. Good left-hand drive by Sam Vincent. Took it right to the big man.
4 points now for Sam Vincent. Michigan State swings back into the lead. Larry Huggins. Rebound taken down by Clinton Smith.
The reason that Clinton Smith got the offensive rebound is he forced Ben Tower right up underneath the basket. So when the ball rebounded off, Tower had no way of getting it, and Smith got it, as we see here on the replay. Huggins goes up with the jump shot that rims off. Once again, Tower is right up underneath of the basket and can't do anything with the rebound, and Smith gets it and it's foul. And he's hitting the eye also, I think.
3rd team foul on Michigan State. Edgar Wilson there with the signs. Judd Heathcote looking on the Michigan State bench. And Clinton Smith, the freshman from Cleveland John Adams High School over there. All Ohio last year.
They've got another freshman here by the last name of Wesson. They happen to be roommates, and I guess the media has put a nice one on them, Smith and Wesson.
The gun shooters.
That's it.
They wanted them to dress up in Western outfits. I guess they wanted Granville Waiters to dress up as a waiter. Eldon Miller said, no way. The publicity shots will just go so far. Number 42 there is Joe Konchek, the sophomore from Cannell Fulton coming in. He will take the free throws in place of the injured Smith. He's a 94% free throw shooter, ironically, on the year that they put into substitute. And he gets his first point of the ball game.
Bad break for Smith there, young fella. First time that he's had a chance to start. He gets hit in the eye this early in the game. He's got to sit out. I hope it's nothing serious. I went through all of that.
15-14, 1-point lead for Ohio State, off for Ben Tower. Now it's Sam Vincent for Michigan State.
Ohio State drops back in kind of deep. Let's see if they're going to match up. Looks like they're playing a zone now.
Sam Vincent. Back out now for Skiles. Eric Perry in a lot of traffic. Knocked loose, picked off by Huggins.
Derek took it into the traffic right there. He may have gotten hit, but it wasn't called, so it's a turnover to Ohio State.
Tony Campbell, 3 Spartans go on him, and then Willis takes the ball away, but stepped out of bounds, according to Jim Bain. Kevin Willis walking back down the floor. We'll get a timeout now of 11 minutes, 22 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's 15-14. Bob Kurtz, Dave Bing back here. St. John Arena, Columbus, Ohio. Our shot from the rafters of this fine basketball building. The early scoring thus far, Sam Vincent with 4 points, Ben Tower with 4, and Kevin Willis with 6 for Michigan State. For Ohio State, Tony Campbell with 5, Joe Konchek has 2, Granville Waiters has 6, and Larry Huggins has 2.
I've had a chance to see some of the purportedly better teams of the Big Ten play early on in the season, and I don't think anybody's going to run away with the Big Ten, Bob. I tell you, there's pretty good balance here.
Everybody thought Wisconsin was destined for deep in the cellar, and whammo, they respond with 2 victories. First over Northwestern on Thursday, 49-45, and then the one over Iowa this afternoon, 65-62. Granville Waiters, he's been a force tonight. Waiters a second time, and finally Perry clears the boards for the Spartans.
Good job by Derek. He partially blocked Tony Campbell's shot and did a good job coming back in there in traffic, getting that rebound.
Ben Tower. That's Willis, and the rebound taken down by Konchek. Off for Stokes. Stokes against Skiles. Dishing off for Waiters. Oh, it was blocked beautifully by Willis. Huggins knocks it loose. Stokes picks it up. Dishing off now. Konchek hits a left-handed jumper and scores.
Judd up off the bench, a little upset there. Sloppy ball handling by Michigan State on that. They had a chance really for a decent fast break situation. Judd's up telling the referees how they should have made that call. Should have been traveling.
Ohio State's largest lead of the night, 3 points. Sam Vincent directs the offense. Kevin Willis back out for Tower. Back in for Willis, back out for Skiles. No three-point attempts thus far in the ball.
The mere fact that State's starting to look inside, there's a good pass there.
Vincent.
And an even better shot. Reverse layup by Sam Vincent. Very good play. Set up with the backdoor move.
Still a 1-point Ohio State lead. On Stokes. Takes it all the way to the hoop.
That's a good, quick move there by Ronnie Stokes. Set up, he changed direction, changed hands, and went down the middle. Got fouled by Scott Skiles.
His first team foul, number 4.
Fourth team foul.
I think Judd's gonna probably sit down and talk to Kevin a little bit, because Kevin is getting the ball where he'd like to have it down in that paint area, but he seems to be rushing his shots.
Stokes puts it up and in.
That's something you don't see too often. You get two kids coming from the same high school, going to the same college, playing the same positions, pretty much play the same kind of game.
2 points for Stokes, and Ohio State goes back on top by 3 as Skiles gets it in now to Eric Perry. Finally, Perry is stuffed by Waiters, who excels at that. And here come the Buckeyes again with a chance to go up by 5. Konchek. Foul is called on Tower.
Fighting for a position down low, Ben Tower found himself behind number 00, Tony Campbell. Here it is, all the way going down. Derek Perry taking it the length of the court to the 7-footer. And that was bad judgment there, because Granville threw it right back out and started a fast break the other way.
Back out now for Taylor. Taylor and Stokes in the backcourt for Ohio State. That's Tony Campbell. Dishing off for Konchek, and the rebound comes right to Richard Mudd. Mudd getting it off now for Sam Vincent.
Michigan State's going to need a hoop this time.
Ben Tower dishing off for Mudd. Mudd getting it back out for Derek Perry. And a 3-second violation called against the Spartans gives the ball back to the Buckeyes as Kevin Willis checks back in, and Eldon Miller scratches his head.
I don't know whether the fans created that 3-second call or what, because as they started yelling 3 seconds, the official really looked at Richard Mudd, and shortly after called that 3 seconds.
Keith Wesson, number 43, has checked in, so Smith and Wesson are in the ball game for Ohio State, along with Konchek in the backcourt made up of Taylor and Stokes.
Michigan State's back out there with their starting 5.
Taylor getting it over for Stokes. Stokes to Konchek. Inside for Campbell.
Boy, was not an easy shot. Caught it in traffic and went up in traffic and banked it off the backboard. A little 6-foot jump shot.
7 points now for Campbell. Buckeyes with their biggest lead so far of the ball game at 5. Barry Pollock over for Ben Tower, underneath for Willis.
Good play there. Good pass by Ben Tower. He took advantage of the match. Granville Waiters, as you said earlier, is under the weather a little bit. He can't play a long period of time straight, and Michigan State took advantage of his absence.
Now it's Taylor for Ohio State. Clock showing 7 minutes, 58 seconds to go here in the half. 21-18 for the Buckeyes.
Michigan State goes into the zone here. The big guy goes out. They think they got something.
Konchak just plays bombs away over the zone. He now has 6. He was shooting only 39.7% coming into the ball game, but he has found the range this evening.
Eldon Miller didn't start him, and I think that may have got his adrenaline and going a little bit. He's a little upset. He's looking at the basket.
Sam Vincent off now for Tower. Spartans try and even that Big Ten mark at 3-3. Willis. Tower fighting for the rebound, and the ball will go to Michigan State as Konchak tied up over there by Wesson.
Eldon Miller gets up and applauds his players right there because they made a mistake, but they made it hustling. 7
minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the first half on the Spartan Basketball Network. Bob Kurtz and Dave Bing back here, St. John Arena, Columbus, Ohio. A 5-point lead now for Ohio State, 23-18. Has the script gone fairly much as you thought so far?
Pretty much so. I thought Kevin is not having one of his better offensive first halves, only because I think he's a little anxious. He can get that ball. He's been playing very well up to now. He gets the ball down low, and I think he's probably making his offensive move too quick. He needs to slow himself down a little bit and really realize where his court position is, and I think he'll really kill him. Now getting a little more offense into the game, Michigan State brings in Patrick Ford off the bench.
Ford getting it over now for Scott Skiles. Spartans 9-6 overall, 2-3 in conference play. They've got Illinois coming up at Jenison next Thursday night. Now Pollock gets it in the eye. It's his third player that's got smacked in the eye tonight.
Boy, I'm glad I'm sitting here, I'm telling you. All accidental. But once again, that doesn't stop it from hurting, I guarantee you that.
So far in the ball game, Michigan State has hit 9 of 21 from the floor. That's 42.8%. Ohio State 8 of 17 for 47%. Spartans have yet to take a free throw. The Buckeyes have hit 7 of 7. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Oh, yeah. They're home, so I guess that's the way the script's supposed to go.
Ohio State has out-rebounded Michigan State 12-8. Turnovers are fairly even. 6 for the Buckeyes and 5 for the Spartans. Scott Skiles.
Good touch there, coming off the pick. Easiest play in basketball, a pick and roll. Scott Skiles come right across that key area and goes up with a nice soft jumper.
23-20, Buckeyes lead by 3. Stokes. Stokes grabs the rebound. Stokes is 5 feet 11 inches tall.
That foul there, and the fans are upset. Stokes did a very, very good job. But number 42, Joe Konchak, made the contact. He fouled Patrick Ford. Here on the replay, the little fella goes in, Stokes that is, does a good job. And he got the rebound, but Konchak came over Patrick Ford's back there.
6 minutes, 30 seconds to go first half, 23-20. Spartans trail by 3. Scott Skiles. Off for Sam Vincent.
Oh, good play set up there by Scott Skiles and a good backdoor move by Sam Vincent.
Spartans within 1 now. 8 points for Sam Vincent.
Michigan State falls back into that zone.
That's Stokes back out now for Taylor.
Troy Taylor, first 2 of the night. He's the second leading scorer on Ohio State's team, and that's his first 2 tonight with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Bucks back to a 3-point lead. Pollock. Patrick Ford. Inside for Willis. That's an easy one.
Scott Skiles, good pass there. And our big guy, Willis, is taking advantage of Granville Waiters' absence.
Waiter is sitting in front of the official scorer. He's getting ready to come back into the ball game as Stokes over for Konchak.
State's playing Michigan State, that is. They're playing a very tight zone right now. 2-3 zone.
Wesson getting it back out for Stokes. Across now for Taylor. Taylor taking it inside, dishing off underneath for Wesson. Wesson hit the underneath of the bucket, or underneath of the backboard. It went out of bounds. Be played back in by Michigan State as Waiters comes in, and Wesson will go out.
Willis did a good job right there. He held his position, didn't go for the fake, and Wesson got very anxious and turned the ball over. Sam Vincent bring it up real quick.
Michigan State with a chance to take the lead. 5 minutes now, even to go here, first half. 25-24 Ohio State. Larry Pollock, three-pointer.
Judd gets up off the bench and lets Larry know, hey,
a little out of your range.
Yeah, take it a little closer. He was wide open, though.
Taylor now off for Konchak, back for Taylor. Now a three-pointer the other way as Pollock takes the rebound.
Good, strong rebound there.
Sam Vincent.
That's going to be on Taylor, I think. That's a good call.
Fans don't think so.
No, of course not. Those are Ohio State fans. They can do no wrong.
2 on Taylor, 4 on the Bucks.
We look at the replay as Sam trying to take the smaller guard, Troy Taylor, inside, and it's really hacked across the arm. He really fouled him a couple of times.
Back to the action now, Scott Skiles.
Yes, good pick and roll. On a mismatch, Scott Skiles got Tony Campbell on the outside on him. Put it right in.
And so with that, the Spartans catapult back into the lead by 1. Konchak.
I think this guy's upset that he didn't start tonight.
He don't look like any 39% field goal shooter. He's got 8 points in this one, 3 buckets and a pair of free throws.
Michigan State's got to get a little movement right now.
Larry Pollock. Inside, oh, Willis had to get away from him. And finally it rolls out of bounds. Last touch by Ohio State.
Spartans lucked up on that one. That was a tough pass by Larry Pollock. He threw it down low and real hard and was very difficult for Willis to handle it. They got it back.
Well, we're going to get a timeout on the floor with 3 minutes, 36 seconds to go here in the first half. It's Ohio State 27, Michigan State 26 on the Spartan Basketball Network.
Some things speak for themselves.
If you've called around for financial information, you know how frustrating it can be.
Oh, so.
You may not always get exactly what you're looking for.
Customer information.
Yes, who can I talk to about these new sweep accounts?
Sweep? One moment.
Hello? Yes. Hello?
Well, now there's one number you can call toll-free for the latest certificate.
Here at St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio State leading Michigan State by 1, 27-26. Bucks have led by as many as 5. The Spartans have led by as many as 6. And we've seesawed back and forth a couple of times.
Interesting substitution right here. Bill Haywood comes in for Scott Skiles.
Michigan State now hitting 50% from the floor this half, 13 of 26. Ohio State is 10 of 21, 47%. As Vincent lets fly, rebound taken down finally by Larry Huggins. Bucks have now out-rebounded the Spartans 14-11. Granville Waiters back out for Konchak. Don't leave him free. He's got a nice soft left-handed shot.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
That wasn't soft, but it got the job done.
He's shooting the ball very, very well, and he's looking for it.
He goes in double figures with 10 points. Ohio State back up by 3. Bill Haywood, senior from East Lansing. Off now for Sam Vincent.
That's a tough shot.
Waiters had the rebound, so did Konchak. Konchak finally controlled. Huggins.
I think Ohio State's just going to try and bring them out of that zone a little bit. There's a... Whoa!
Granville Waiters.
Let's see who can jump the highest, Granville or Kevin. That time, Granville came out on top. The rest did him good.
Waiters has 8. Judd wants a timeout. Judd's going to get a timeout. We'll keep it here with 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in half number 1.
He got an offensive rebound, so I'd like to see him go back to that a little more.
And again, those stats that we had unofficially before that last Ohio State bucket, 13 of 26. Michigan State hit 50%. Ohio State has now hit 11 of 22 for 50%. Buckeyes have hit 7 free throws. Spartans haven't hit any. Buckeyes are perfect from the free throw line. As a matter of fact, 7 out of 7. They've out-rebounded State 14-11. And turnovers are 6 for Ohio State and 5 for Michigan State.
Well, other than free throws, the game is pretty, I think it's pretty even at this point. Everything except the score.
And free throws account for that. Ohio State with 7 more free throws and 5 more points up on the board, 31-26 over the Spartans with 2:18 left to go here in the half. There's Stokes lofting it high in the air, and who shall be behind Willis but Granville Waiters.
Once again, that's because of playing that zone defense. That was not Kevin's primary responsibility. He was in the middle and watching the ball and allowed Granville Waiters to slide behind him. It was a good set play by Ohio State.
Quite a few Spartan rooters on hand over on the far side, sitting behind. You can take a look at the shooting percentages on the screen. As Pollock now gets it back for Skiles. Skiles over for Pollock, back for Skiles for Kaywood.
Ohio State goes back into a pretty aggressive zone defense.
Skiles for Kaywood. Kaywood cut off by Campbell.
Right now, Ohio State's doing a good job defensively. They're attacking the ball and really not giving up any easy passing lanes.
Pollock getting it over for Tower. Tower for Willis. It missed out of bounds. Played back in by OSU.
Even though that'll be a turnover charge to Ben Tower, it really wasn't all his fault. I think he had a good idea where he was trying to get that ball. He drew the defense to him, but Kevin Willis thought he was going to shoot it and turn to go for the offensive rebound and never saw the pass coming. I think we'll see Ohio State. Okay, here they are. They're going to keep it out. Draw Michigan State out of that zone.
Huggins now getting it back for Stokes. Clock showing 1:23 to go here first half. Another game in the Big Ten tonight. Set to tip off in about 15-20 minutes up in Minneapolis. The Golden Gophers going against the Northwestern Wildcats. This afternoon, Indiana took care of Michigan 93-76. And it was Wisconsin over Iowa 65-62.
Ohio State will probably take the last shot. The only way they won't take the last shot would be if they got something real easy on the inside. Very content of holding on to the ball right now.
Off now for Waiters. See the clock in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. As the seconds tick off, and Ohio State just tosses the ball around and picked off by Pollock. Little lackadaisical. Back out now for Tower. Now it'll probably be the Spartans playing for the last shot.
They should. Whether or not they will is another story. But I think now Scott Skiles calls a play, and he wants him to go for the last shot.
Tower fired up an air ball with 10 seconds to go, which will give the Bucks a chance to add to that 5-point lead. Huggins puts it up and scores.
Ben Tower shot that one too quick with about 11 seconds to go as the half ends here with Ohio State leading 33-36.
So Huggins with a 2-pointer. He has now 4 for the ball game. Ohio State leads by 7. The fans at St. John Arena are...
If every car in the world had a Tuffy muffler, what would you...
Our unofficial scoring so far in the first half for Ohio State, it was Tony Campbell with 7 points. Joe Konchak, normally a starter for the Buckeyes, sat this one out while Clinton Smith got the starting call at forward. But when Smith was fouled in the eye, I'm not sure how seriously he was hurt, but he left the ball game. Konchak came in, shot the 2 free throws, and then later added 4 buckets to wind up with a total of 10 points. It was Granville Waiters with a total of 8. Troy Taylor had 2, Larry Huggins had 4, and Ron Stokes had 2 for Ohio State. For Michigan State, it was Ben Tower with 4. Larry Pollock was held scoreless. Kevin Willis led the Spartans with 10 points. Sam Vinson had 8, and Scott Skiles had a total of 4. Really, Judd Heathcote doing very little substituting there in the first half.
And that's surprising because Judd usually get those guys off the bench, you know, right away. I think his first substitution was Derek Perry, and Derek came in after about 5 or 6 minutes had elapsed. One of the things that I think Michigan State's lacking right now is that third consistent offensive player. They're getting consistent scoring at least out of Vincent and out of Willis, but they've got to get somebody else night in and night out that you can depend on for that 12 to 15 points. They don't seem to have that player, or it hasn't happened, you know, on a consistent basis just yet. I think when they find that player and get him into the rotation, then they're going to be a good offensive team because they're playing very tough, strong defense. But once again, I don't think they're doing well offensively tonight at all.
Well, the other night it was Derek Perry that scored 16 points against Wisconsin. But the guy you always talk about offensively is when you talk about Patrick Ford.
Yeah, I think Patrick is, you know, he's a prototype for I think the needs of Michigan State right now. The guy can score points. He's a good offensive player, but once again, he's a freshman, and you know, he's going to make some mistakes, but he's got to learn to play over those mistakes. So Judd's got to allow him to play over those mistakes, because as we get further and further into the Big Ten season, I just don't think that the two guys that they got carrying them offensively are going to be able to make them winners, you know, consistent winners during the Big Ten season.
So you're looking for basically 12 or 15 points out of a third player other than Vincent or Willis.
No question about it. I mean, there are going to be nights, obviously, when Derek Perry can come in and do a job. But Derek Perry at 6'5", 6'6" at the most, I don't think is an overpowering player in the Big Ten. There are a lot of forwards in the Big Ten that are bigger than him, and unless he gets in there against the right kind of players, you can't expect him to score points. I don't think he's a great offensive player, but he's a worker. He's steady. He comes to play every night. The most explosive offensive player that I think they've got coming off the bench is Patrick, and they're going to have to try and see how to get him into the offense so that they can take some of that pressure off of both Sam and Kevin.
Okay, we are at halftime here at St. John Arena. It's 33-26 in favor of Ohio State here on the Spartan Basketball Network. In favor of Ohio State, and Dave, we've been handed the official stats here. Anything that jumps out at you?
The most obvious thing is, without a doubt, the free throws. Michigan State has not attempted a free throw thus far in the first half, where I think we mentioned this earlier, that Ohio State is 7 out of 7. And as far as scoring is concerned, that's the point spread right there at 7 points, and they are from the free throws. I think Michigan State is really not getting good shots, even though they've got 13 field goals, and so does Ohio State. Ohio State has been shooting a better percentage because they're getting better shots. I don't think Michigan State's getting a lot of good shots. They've made 13, but out of those 13, I'd say 6 of them were pretty tough shots.
Michigan State is 13 of 29 officially for 44.8%. Ohio State has hit 13 of 24 for 54.2. Ohio State again 7 of 7 for free throws. Spartans haven't attempted one, and the Buckeyes have out-rebounded the Spartans 16-11. Anything surprise you this afternoon? I see Indiana's back on top now. They beat Michigan 93-76. One thing we were talking about in the lobby of the hotel is how many points Indiana's given up.
It's hard to believe that in 2 consecutive games against Michigan State and Michigan that Indiana has given up that many points, because for years and years that's been Bobby Knight's trademark. That's been his strength. And we saw him play the other night, and they played really tough defense, but Michigan State played one of probably their very best offensive games. And then Michigan evidently played good offense today, but very little defense, and giving up 93 points to Indiana. But I think that is a surprise, and I think Bobby Knight over this weekend really will probably get back with his troops and try and impress upon them how important it is to play that good defense and stop giving up so many points.
It surprised me that Iowa lost this afternoon.
I'd have to agree with you, and especially against Wisconsin. We saw Wisconsin play, and I think they got talent, but they're a very young team, and I'm surprised to see them upset at this juncture in the season. I really am, but you've got to give them their due. Evidently, they're playing good basketball.
Okay, it's 33-26 at halftime in favor of Ohio State. We'll be back with more after we pause for station identification on the Spartan Basketball Network.
Oh, yeah, we're independent, WFSL. Oh, yeah, we're independent, WFSL, TV 47. yeah, we're independent. WFSL, Davy 47.
Good evening, children of darkness. I'm Dr. Dungeon. I'm a molecular configuration of nastiness, and I'm here to terrorize your body chemistry every Saturday night, right here on Channel 47, Scream Theater. I've got celluloid fitness for you. My pals Bella, Boris, and I are on the prowl at your midnight howl, right here on Channel 47, Scream Theater.
Bob Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at St. John Arena, Columbus, Ohio. We are at halftime, and the Buckeyes of OSU lead Michigan State by a score of 33-26. You're talking about Michigan State not getting enough good shots, Dave. How do you go about getting good shots?
Well, one of the things that I think they have gotten the ball, Kevin Willis in particular, he's gotten the ball in pretty good position, but I think he's rushed his shots tonight. And you look down the scoring, and you see that he's got 10 points. The shots that he's made, I don't think have been real easy shots. He started off the game where he got 6 quick points, but since then, he really hasn't done a lot offensively. I'd like to see him run that pick and roll much more, because what it does is you're always going to get a mismatch, and you'll see him getting some easy shots on the inside because of that. You get the guards like Skiles and like Sam who can come off, and they can hit that little 12, 15-foot jumper. If the big guys don't come out and switch on them, they're going to hit that easy shot. If the big guy does switch on them and they take the shot, then you've got somebody like Willis who's got to go to the offensive boards on a guard. And both guards for Ohio State are relatively small at 5'11", and there's no way that they're going to be able to block Willis off the board. So if they don't get good shots from the floor, off of pick and rolls, they've got to depend upon one-on-one situations, and that's not really that good.
Well, Granville Waiters really is a force to be reckoned with in the middle there.
No doubt about it. One thing that Granville, you got to make him active, because anytime that, all right, he's already under the weather a little bit, so you got to make him work hard so that you can get him out of the game so that he can take those rest spells. And when that happened, Michigan State really got back into the game and actually went up. If Granville is allowed to just play in that paint area and kind of zone while everybody else is playing man-to-man, then he's going to create a lot of problems. He's blocked a couple of shots already. He's intimidated 2 or 3 other shots. So they've got to get him active. They've got to go right at him.
We're almost ready now to start the second half. It is 33-26 in favor of Ohio State. I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Busch Beer. Remember, don't just reach for a beer. Head for the mountains on the Spartan Basketball Network.
Lake Superior 2, Ohio State 3.
Hi, I'm Bill Snuthkamp, inviting you to come on down and buy a quality used vehicle like this 1982 Dodge Ram Charger. Load it with every option possible and it's priced to sell. Or this immaculate one-owner 1979 Ford pickup, complete with camper top, for only $44.95. That's right, only $44.95. Stop in today and buy a quality used car backed by a dealership that's been in business for over 50 years.
See Bill Snuthkamp, Michigan's largest Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Shepherd Shoes is going to give you a reason to come downtown again. Shepherd Shoes Downtown Outlet. The Downtown Outlet offers discounts on name brand footwear every day. Choose from current patterns by the largest manufacturers: Bass, Freeman for Men, Naturalizer, and many other famous brand names with new stock coming in every week. Park right in front. We'll validate your ticket. Shepherd Shoes Downtown Outlet. Discounts on premium branded shoes every day.
Cold weather with ice and snow means more defensive driving. Barnum & Tenney Body Shop doesn't want you to have an accident, but if you do, we're here to help, and Barnum & Tenney has free estimates. But whether your car is estimated here at Barnum & Tenney or at your insurance company, tell your insurance adjuster that you want your car repaired by the finest body shop in town. That's Barnum & Tenney Body Shop, 1151 Haco Drive, behind Hager Fox.
The The Marshall Street Armory is jam-packed full of warehouse savings this Tuesday through Sunday. Over 12,000 feet of merchandise, up to 60% off. Save on men's fashions, including suits and sport coats, top coats and outerwear, plus men's and women's shoes for dress or sport, ski jackets and skis, boots and poles, luggage, gifts, and an entire armory of values. Leonard's and MSU Bootery bring you 6 full days of spectacular savings through Sunday. Don't miss the Marshall Street Armory warehouse sale.
Bob Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio. 33-26 in favor of Ohio State here at halftime. It is unanimous in the polls this week, as I'm sure you're aware. UCLA is number 1 and Indiana is number 2. That according to Sports Illustrated, to the Sporting News, and both the UPI and the AP. In the AP, North Carolina is the number 3 team. Arkansas is 4. Nevada, Las Vegas 5. Memphis State 6. Virginia is 7. St. John is number 8. Louisville is number 9 and Iowa number 10. In the UPI, Memphis State and North Carolina were tied for 3rd. Arkansas was 5th. Virginia 6th. St. John 7th. Louisville 8th. Nevada, Las Vegas number 9. And number 10, Iowa. Right now, Michigan State not concerned about the polls, obviously. The Spartans want to even that Big Ten mark at 3-3. Here come the Bucks to start the second half. Taylor over to Konchek, and here we go.
These first 4 or 5 minutes are going to be very important for Michigan State. If they allow Ohio State to really dominate the inside play here, which is what Waiters is trying to do. He's trying to really take it to Willis right now. But if they score the first 3 or 4 points, all of a sudden, I think Michigan State's going to be in trouble.
Huggins, tap up by Waiters, and a rebound goes to Pollock off for Skiles. Skiles now getting it over for Ben Tower. Tower for Pollock. Back out now for Skiles. Sam Vincent for MSU. Spartans down by 7. Tower for Willis. Willis back out for Tower. Had the shot, didn't take it, now takes it.
Good basket there by Ben Tower. He's got to take that shot, even if he doesn't make it, because if he doesn't take it, then Tony Campbell is all sagging all over Willis, and Willis will never be a threat inside.
Konchek. Off balance on that one, Willis, and then Skiles on the rebound, right into Konchek, and an offensive foul on Skiles.
Konchek made a very good play there. I don't think Judd necessarily agrees with it. Scott Skiles ran right into him there. He created that contact, and it's called for a second personal foul. On the replay, you see him again. Konchek is stationary. He is there, and Skiles makes the contact.
So the Buckeyes with the ball. Huggins now. Off for Campbell. Campbell for Konchek. Over Willis. Rebound Willis. Off now for Pollock. Pollock ahead for Skiles. Here come the Spartans. Long pass for Tower.
When in doubt, shoot it. Ben Tower really didn't want to shoot that shot, but Troy Taylor left him with the ball and went looking for his own man, and that left Ben wide open. And as I said earlier, if Ben gets his feet together and he's facing the basket, he does a good job.
Taylor blocked by Tower. Bain called that one from a long way away. He called it on Tower.
I don't think that was a good call at all. I thought Ben Tower did a good job there defensively. He blocked the ball, and Troy Taylor did a good acting job.
The officials out at center court making the call.
And once again, okay, Skiles goes down. Now, I think the offense, if there was any contact, the offense forced the contact, and that's a good block. That's a good block there.
Taylor going to the line, shooting 2 now for Ohio State. He has 2 points. Well below, as you can see, his average, now with 3. He is an 82.6 free throw percent shooter. Now has a total of 4, and Ohio State goes back up by 5 now, 35-30. Vincent plays it off Konchek into the crowd.
The thing that Michigan State's going to have to do when that pressure is on them, they've got to realize it, see where the pressure is coming from, and move the ball right away. They can't hold the ball.
Skiles getting some pressure there in the corner. Off now for Vincent. Vincent getting it up for Ben Tower. Tower takes it all the way down and scores. That's a foul on Waiters.
That's a good play there by Ben Tower. And I'm glad to see him attack the basket. Play aggressively. Even though Waiters, a 7-footer, is back there, that was a 3-on-1 fast break. You're not going to get it. Let's look at the replay. Ben Tower, it's a 3-on-1 situation. Even if he misses the shot, then look where Kevin Willis is. right there ready for the offensive rebound. But he takes it to the basket, gets some pressure, Waiters fouls him, and he goes and he completes the three-point play. That's a good play there by Ben Tower.
First free throw of the night for the Spartans. They're within 2, 35-33, 17:53 to go. Tony Taylor up along the baseline has let him go.
That's a good move there. That's the pick and roll that I talked about earlier. Tony Campbell came up, set the pick, and there was not a switch. Troy Taylor took it all the way to the baseline and made the easy shot.
Ben Tower, who's been a terror here in the second half, offered Kevin Willis for Scott Skiles.
They're not helping each other out right now. They're just moving the ball and moving bodies, but there seems to be no purpose to it.
Pollock now for the Spartans. Lost the ball.
Yeah, that's a double dribble.
He can pick it up, but he can't dribble it again. Larry Pollock lost the ball there, and I think he just really didn't concentrate on what he could and couldn't do. He could have recovered the ball, but he couldn't dribble again, and it's a turnover.
Taylor now getting it over for Huggins. Spartans down by 4. In for Waiters. Foul will be on Waiters. Yep, for pushing off.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a really good call either now. See, there's no consistency.
Well, that makes up for the other one.
Yeah. I think that's his third foul, too.
3 on Waiters, second team foul on Ohio State. 17 minutes now to play. Eldon Miller off the bench over there for Ohio State. Now it's Pollock. Spartans trying to cut this down to 2. Vincent. Waiters had the rebound over to Konchek. Now for Taylor. Here come the Bucks. Taylor rejected there by
Ben Tower, but he's called for the foul. Taylor, little 5'11" guy, is not afraid to take it to the basket.
That's 4 on Tower.
Well, he's too quick. He's too quick for Scott Skiles. On the replay, once again, you see that Granville Waiters did a pretty decent thing there. He set a pick. Here's the other angle. You see Troy Taylor coming in. And, yeah, with the body. He blocked the shot, but he got him with the body. Ben Tower, that is.
Taylor now with a total of 7 points. He's hit all 3 of his free throws. Derek Perry comes in. And Ben Tower goes out. Taylor's 5'11", 170-pound sophomore. Old Ohio in 1981, a big Isaiah Thomas fan. Now has 8.
Put the pressure back on Michigan State again, full court.
Buckeyes by 6, 39-33. Perry for Vincent.
Too bad Ben Tower had to be taken out of the game. He's off to one of his better offensive shows of the season, I think.
Well, now with 11 points, 7 of them coming here early in the second half. Chased down by Vincent. He won't get there in time. And whoops.
That's a good call. That was the right call. I know the fans here at Ohio State and Eldon Miller don't agree, but that ball was off of Troy Taylor's hand. Once again, you can't see it right there. Went off earlier. You didn't see the whole replay. Nonetheless, Michigan State keeps control.
Pollock off now for Perry. Derek Perry battling Campbell.
They've got to start doing something offensively. They just don't seem to be in sync at all.
Pollock shot no good. Rebound goes to Campbell. Cleared off now for Taylor. Here come the Buckeyes again. Taylor against Skiles. Took it in. Stolen by Vincent. Vincent and Perry with Huggins in pursuit. And Sam Vincent now goes into double figures with 10 points, and Spartans back within 4.
Sam showed good quickness there. He really spread that gap between he and the defensive player that time, Huggins, and went all the way in for the layup.
That's Campbell. Foul will be on Pollock. That'll be his first. 4th team foul.
That's a good move there by Campbell. He made a good strong move there. Got by Kevin Willis, went in for the layup, and Pollock came from the weak side trying to help out and hit him with the body. They've done a pretty good job on Campbell tonight, though, really. He can be an explosive player.
That's his 8th point. He's a 79.3 free throw percent shooter. Now has a total of 9. And Ohio State back up by 5 now. Timeout on the floor, 15 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the ball game on the Spartans Basketball Network.
They say the best ones are the hard ones. These you don't break. You try to reach an agreement. And when you do, you head for the mountains. Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer.
Head for the mountains. See the Lazy Boy collection in just one stop. At the Lazy Boy Showcase Shop.
Bet you thought we sold only Lazy Boy recliners. Well, of course, we have the famous recliners, but we also have the largest selection around on Lazy Boy sleep sofas, swivel rockers, and even love seats that recline. If you're interested in quality, selection, and affordable prices, you owe it to yourself to check out the comfort of a Lazy Boy recliner or sleeper.
At the Lazy Boy Showcase Shop.
Bob Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at St. John Arena in Columbus. 6-point Ohio State lead, 41-35. Spartans with the ball as we resume play.
State has really, Michigan State has been kind of out of sync for quite some time on the offensive end, Bob. They're really not playing good offensive basketball, in my opinion.
Now in for Perry, back for Skiles. Sort of it's a mad scramble with no purpose. Skiles now against Huggins. Off now for Pollock. Back for Sam Vincent.
What are you doing?
Heathco wants to know what they're doing in there.
That's what I want to know, too.
Off now for Pollock. Pollock inside now for Willis. Willis pops over Waiters. And the rebound, there's 4 Ohio State players there, and nobody there for Michigan State.
You can look at the Michigan State players' faces right now, and I don't think they really know what they're doing or know what they're supposed to be doing.
Huggins now for Ohio State. Off now for Taylor, in for Campbell. And Campbell now has 11 points. He played only 55 minutes as a freshman.
They got to get offense in the game. They've got to have some offense. Somebody's got to take over.
Campbell came into his own last year. As Eldon Miller looks on for the Buckeyes, they're up by 8. Derek Perry, Spartans need a bucket badly, and the co-captain gets him one.
Senior from River Rouge, that's a big basket because things were starting to get out of hand. They don't get a basket there, and Ohio State comes down and gets one and go 10 up. It's a real problem for Michigan State.
Campbell off now for Konchak. That's his shot. Not this time, however. And Perry clears off for Vincent. Sam Vincent against Huggins. He walked for a double dribble.
I don't know if that was a good call. I think he lost the ball, lost control of the ball, but I don't think he double dribbled there.
Derek Perry goes out. Ben Tower now comes in for Michigan State. And Polk getting now set to check in for Ohio State. Derek Polk.
Michigan State gets the ball. They need to go right at him.
Everybody's perfect from the free throw line, but Ohio State has 12 more. Similar situation to last Thursday in Bloomington when Indiana hit 31 free throws. Michigan State hit 5. That's a difference of 26. Spartans lost by 4. Spartans had 39 field goals at Bloomington to 27 for the Hoosiers. Of course, the Hoosiers also had four three-pointers. And now to Willis.
Good play there. Could have been a three-point play. I'm glad to see him go right at the new guy, Polk, as he comes in. Kevin Willis takes it right to him. They need to do that the next couple of times down the floor.
Huggins now for Ohio State, off for Derek Polk. Polk puts it up and scores.
Hey, I can play too.
He's a big crowd favorite here.
They've got to go right back at him again.
Now it's Pollock for Michigan State, getting it over for Ben Tower. Back for Skiles. Skiles for Pollock.
Good play there. Good pass. by Skiles. Good play in trying to set Larry Pollock up. Goes down, shoots it, he's hit hard, but he's going to the free throw line for 2. We see on the replay right there, Bob, good bounce pass there by Scott Skiles, trying to set up Larry Pollock for the easy one. He's going to the free throw line, and I think there he is, a 93% free throw shooter.
Hadn't scored in this game yet, has now. 45-40, Eldon Miller. Rebound taken down by Konchak. So it's a 5-point ball game in favor of Ohio State. 12 minutes, 48 seconds to go. Taylor for Konchak, watched by Pollock, back for Huggins. Three-pointer. Rebound taken down by Campbell, knocked out of bounds, played back in by Ohio State.
Pretty good defense there. They didn't do a good job boxing off and rebounding, Michigan State that is, but they got lucky and got that one knocked out of Campbell's hand. Otherwise, he'd have had an easy one. And this game is turning into nothing but a post game. Every bigger, you got that inside area is so clogged up. You got 4 or 5 people trying to post.
Foul goes on Skiles. His third, 15th foul against Michigan State.
There's the replay once again. You got a 5'11" guy who wants to be 6'11", goes down low, post.
Hey, it's fun in there.
As long as no big people are there.
Troy Taylor now has 9 points. He had 16 points out here against Michigan. He's really been coming into his own the last couple of ball games. He's got 10 this one.
He's a good little player. Very good
20,
player.
15, 16 against Michigan. Now has 10 in this one. 4 straight games in double figures.
Michigan State needs a basket again.
Howard to Willis.
That's the way to get it. And they've got to keep the ball in Kevin Willis's hand. Because I think Derek Polk, that he can stop Kevin, and that's half of the battle.
Polk knocks it free, grabs the ball, picks it up, and knocks it in. Now the big guy hits from the outside.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a long night for Michigan State now. They got to go back to him again.
Ben Tower. Rebound taken down by Huggins. Got Heathcote. Take another look at it.
Shot going up and outside by Ben Tower, but you can't really see. They're saying that Huggins went out of bounds, and you really can't see it on this replay.
11 minutes and 47 seconds to play. 49-42 Ohio State on the Spartan Basketball Network.
East Lansing's largest motel, the University Inn at the campus of Michigan State University, puts you within walking distance of diverse cultural, social, and athletic events. Our 6 fully equipped conference rooms accommodate groups to 80, with additional space for 185 more in the lower level. Enjoy the lively atmosphere of the Village Market Restaurant and Lounge, featuring an extensive international menu, renowned vegetable bar, and live entertainment. The University Inn when you're in East Lansing. 1100 Trowbridge Road. The Story Olds Datsun Showcase, featuring 2 ways you can save. First, you save with our low prices. And now, the new GMAC 11.9% financing. Stop in and let us show you how to save up to $3,000 on all new 1982 and 83 Olds, driver's ed, and demos. Visit our showroom. We'll show you how Story Oldsmobile Datsun sells for less. 3168 East Michigan at Frandor in Lansing.
Bob Kurtz, Dave Bing back here in Columbus. 49-42 in favor of Ohio State. 11 minutes and 47 seconds left to go in regulation time. These two teams played twice last year. Ohio State won them both, 50-49 here in overtime. Clark Kellogg was 17 points. Derek Perry was 17. Those were the big scores. And in East Lansing, the Buckeyes won by 5, 51-46. Kellogg had 15 points, and Ben Tower with a total of 14 in that ball game. That was the first time Ohio State had swept the Spartans in years. Michigan State prior to that had won 15 of 16 from OSU.
Pretty key possession right here. Michigan State really needs a score.
Ben Tower They're listening, Coach. They're listening.
Yep, that's exactly what Ben's got to do. He's got to make sure that his defensive man, Tony Campbell, comes out and play him. He's got to be a threat. He's got to take that shot.
Tower now has 13 points. That's Campbell. And the rebound goes down to Pollock. Skiles. Battling there with Taylor. Skiles still with the ball for Michigan State. Back for Willis. Now Ben Tower. 5-point lead for Ohio State. They've led most of the way. Spartans had a 6-point lead early. Ohio State led by 7 at halftime. Sam Vincent. Rebound taken down by Willis. Back out for Skiles. Ohio State's biggest lead of the game was 8, 43-35.
There it is. That's what they got to do. Yes, good move. That's
Willis
a good move.
Ran him right over. 16 points.
He's got the guy scared of him. Even though he's hit a couple of hoops, he's no match for Willis on the inside. I think Eldon Miller agrees with me because I see Granville Waiters coming back. Good defensive hands there by Kevin Willis.
Spartans now can cut it to 1. They're down by 3, 49-46. Larry Pollock, it's a 1-point ball game. Pollock with 3 points.
I would think Ohio State will call a timeout right now. They're really not playing well yet. They're forced into the timeout. The State's starting to play well offensively.
Okay, we've got 10 minutes, 16 seconds to go. 49 for the Bucks, 48 for the Spartans. Up to Judd Heathcote.
Judd's got to be a little happy with the way they're playing the last 2 or 3 minutes. And they still, because Granville Waiters has come in, I would hope that State doesn't change the way that they're playing. They've got back into this game down by 1 point because they've been aggressive offensively. They're taking advantage of situations, and I don't think Granville Waiters can really do anything with Willis on the inside.
Well, Granville Waiters is back in the ball game.
Ben Tower is out, and I think that's a good substitution. He's got 4 fouls, and Judd doesn't want to lose him just yet.
Derek Perry's in there, along with Pollock up front. Willis, Skiles, and Vincent. Taylor for Waiters. Waiters misses the shot, pulled down by Derek Perry. Just hands the ball to Sam Vincent. The Spartans could take the lead.
Playing much, much better basketball the last 3 minutes. Too high.
Vincent has it taken away by Waiters, but momentum carries Waiters out of bounds, and the Spartans get it back again as Eldon Miller wrings his hands on the sidelines.
That's got to be a perfect pass and perfect time play. You don't see a lot of teams running in with the guards unless they've got a guard like a David Thompson. As Larry Pollock looms up.
Grabs the rebound. Good hustle off for Skiles.
Tough shot.
Rebound snared by Smith. Off now for Taylor. Taylor whips it for Campbell.
All the way. Good fast break there by Ohio State. I think Judd's a little upset with Scott there. And Ohio State goes into the man-to-man full-court press again.
Skiles now for Michigan State. Deficit is 3. 51-48. Vincent directs the offense for MSU.
They've got to get it to their big guy. That's it.
It'll go for Kevin Willis. Willis now with 18 points.
Every time down the court, right? They don't have to run an offensive play because he is creating a lot of problems now for Ohio State. Put it in his hands.
Willis with 18 in this one, 19 the other night at Bloomington, 19 against Randy Brewer in Minnesota. The game before that, 20 against Northwestern.
Good defense there by Larry Pollock. Cut that baseline off and did not give Tony Campbell anywhere to go. He traveled.
Sam Vincent. Off now for Perry. Perry for Willis. Willis now has 20, and the Spartans take the lead, 52-51.
That's Michigan State's offense right now. They got to milk it. They got a good thing going. Go to the well. Keep it going.
Timeout, Ohio State. 8 minutes and 22 seconds to go. 52-51 MSU. Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at courtside at St. John Arena. The Spartans trailing by 43-35. 8 points. That's the biggest deficit they face. Now a little bit later, they're ahead by 1. 52-51. Buckeyes with a ball. That's Troy Taylor.
Thought that Michigan State may have come and gotten into that zone. There's a good play. Good play. Bad defense right there. I thought Michigan State may have come back and played a zone defense to try and see exactly what Ohio State would do, just how they're going to attack them. They need to start mixing the defenses up a little bit.
15 points now for Campbell. Bucks lead by 1. Derek Perry off for Larry Pollock. Pollock for Skiles. Skiles for Perry. Campbell lets him go. Willis follows, but missed.
Bad break. That should be. That's a bad call. I don't agree with it. I need to see it on the replay, but I surely don't agree with it. I thought Scott Skiles was standing there, and Stokes really charged into him. And I think Judd agrees with me, but we'll see whether or not that's a fact. Here we see it on the replay. Stokes gets the ball. He may have been moving. He looks like he was reaching a little bit, but he was stationary. I don't know. Well, I guess I'm partial.
Sure. Off now for Taylor. Taylor getting it in for Campbell. Bobs away. Campbell now has 17 points. So he's got 40 points against Michigan and Michigan State in his last 2 outings. 23 against the Wolves, 17 here tonight. Spartans held him in check in the first half, but he has really come into his own here in the second. Foul is called on Smith.
Patrick Ford coming into the game. Clinton Smith gets called for his first personal foul. It was a good foul. Had he not fouled Derek Perry, Derek would have had that ball where he likes it, right under the basket. And I tell you, there are not too many people going to stop him inside when he gets it.
5 team fouls now in Ohio State. Bucks by 3, 55-52.
Larry Pollock got his hands full. He's going to have to start doing a little better job, I think, on Campbell, because Campbell is starting to look at the hoop a little more.
7 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the game. That's Pollock.
Ben Tower just for effect.
Foul on Clinton Smith.
2-shot foul. Larry Pollock's going to the free throw line, shooting 2.
Pollock, as you mentioned, a great free throw shooter, 93% on the year. He's hit 50% tonight, 1 of 2.
Look at this replay again. The foul had already been called. Yeah, he grabbed the rim, but the play was dead. Larry Pollock has missed 2 of his last 3 free throws.
Mentioned Michigan State had only 5 free throws made, and in Indiana they had 11 attempts. And they're under 50% from the line tonight. Taylor dishing off now to Clinton Smith. Bothered by Pollock. Back and all, look who's all alone. Granville Waiters. First we've heard from him offensively here in the second half, and the Bucks go up by 5.
Good timeout right here by Michigan State.
Well, those missed free.
And they still got some very tough teams to play on the road. They've got to go to Minnesota. They beat Iowa already, but Michigan, there's a bad turnover there.
And the Bucks get the ball right back again with Troy Taylor. Skiles getting set to come back in for Michigan State. It's a 5-point deficit. Granville Waiters, and it's tipped there by Willis. That's going to be goaltending.
That's a good call by the official.
Granville now has 12 points, and the Bucks are back up by 7.
On the replay again, there's a good pass by Troy Taylor. Willis hits it. It's already on its way down, and he's called for the goaltending call. And now momentum is swung all over again back to Ohio State.
Skiles now having difficulty over there with Stokes. Spartans will retain possession. Clock showing 6:29 to go. 59-52. Don't forget Michigan State home Thursday night against the Fighting Illini of Illinois. They'll be home next Saturday against Purdue.
The last 3 minutes, Kevin Willis has not touched the ball, and that's how they got back into the game and took the lead.
Pollock comes up with the ball. Back out for Vincent.
Bring a little excitement into it. That's Tony Campbell reaching across the arm.
So Campbell's foul is his first, 16th foul on Ohio State. Spartans also have 6 here in the second half.
We see the replay as Sam starts to beat Troy Taylor, and Tony Campbell comes from the weak side to try and give him a little help, and gives him a little too much, hits him across the arm, and Sam's going to the free throw line for 2.
Vincent hitting 76% plus this year, has 10 points in this ball game. Now 11.
Been pretty quiet here this second half.
He had 8 of his points in the first half, 3 now here in the second. And now he has a dozen. Spartans led by Willis. He has 20. MSU trails by 5.
This is a key time down here this time defensively. They've got to play a good, strong defense and not give up anything easy. Almost a steal by Sam.
Clinton Smith. Smith still with it. Back for Campbell. They left him open. Foul on Willis.
All right, Willis got that foul, but I'll tell you what, Troy Taylor think twice about going back in there again. He's a gutsy little guy. He did a good job. But he got knocked to the floor pretty good on that one. On the replay, you see him on the rebound of a long missed shot, goes up, and Kevin Willis says, hey, you're going to have to give me some respect. You're not getting anything easy. You're going to earn them.
And Mr. Taylor pulls himself up off the floor. Staggers to the line, where he has hit 83% of them this year. And he's been pretty tough tonight. He is now 6 for 6.
The momentum really has changed back to Ohio State, and I think that Michigan State, if they don't really get a nice little string of points going here, they're going to find themselves in trouble. Down by 7 points, 5.5 minutes to go in the game, and the foul situation is about even.
Skiles for Tower. The misplay gives the ball back to the Bucks. They've got the 7-point lead. They have the ball, and they have the crowd. And time certainly is in their favor with 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Taylor in for Stokes. Taken away in there by Ben Tower. Now Tower, outlet pass over for Scott Skiles. Skiles over Smith.
Good roll there, good roll. The reason that Scott was able to come up with that shot was because the 2 big guys, Larry Pollock and Kevin Willis, ran down court. And they had to be guarded, and he got the easy shot off.
5 minutes and 5 seconds to go. We'll keep it here at courtside. 61-56 Ohio State. Unofficial scoring so far in the ball game.
Ohio State right now, I feel that they're smart, will really spread the court out and use the quickness and their backcourt players. They've only got one of the little kids in there now, Troy Taylor, but I really feel that they spread the court open, Michigan State is going to be in a little bit of trouble because they're just not as quick in the backcourt as Ohio State is.
Well, we'll see if you're right, Coach. It's 61-56 for the Buckeyes. They sell everything here. Puppets, memorabilia of all sorts. As now it's Taylor. Taylor. Kimmy Gore is in the ball game to give the Spartans some quickness. Granville Waiters. It's his own tap. Now Smith had it. Finally coming up with it. Sam Vincent for MSU. Vincent, long pass for Pollock.
Got to hit that one.
He doesn't, and Granville Waiters clears the rebound. One hands the ball over now to Larry Huggins, and here come the Buckeyes again.
They tried to force the offense the last time down the court, and it's really no need to do that. They're in control of the game right now.
Larry Huggins checked there by Vincent. Back for Tony Campbell. Over for Clinton Smith, now to Larry Huggins. Vincent's on him. See the clock there behind him at 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Back out now for Smith. Knocked loose by Willis, picked up by Pollock. Here come the Spartans. Pollock for Willis, and Willis has 22.
Good play there by Larry Pollock. He set all of that up, played good defense, stole the ball. Once again, that's not really smart basketball by Ohio State.
Gore misses a steal. Off now to Taylor. Taylor takes it inside for Waiters. And a foul on Pollock. Granville Waiters runs his total to 14. The Ohio State lead is back up to 5. Foul on Pollock is second.
We see on the replay here, Troy Taylor with a behind-the-back pass. About a 6-foot shot there for the 6'11", Granville Waiters. We see from the other angle, Larry Pollock at 6'8", really, it's a mismatch there. He goes up with him, but he hits him in the face, and he makes the 2, and he's going to the free throw line, trying to complete the 3-point play.
Granville Waiters, a senior out of Columbus's East High School, is just under 79% from the line this year. He has hit both of his free throws tonight. Granville stands 6'11", weighs 220 pounds. Again, sat behind Herb Williams here for 2 years. Got the chance to play last year. was only taking about 5 shots a ball game. They wanted a little more offense out of him, and they got him to double that. He averages about 10 shots a game now.
He's living right, too. Big guy with a nice, good, soft touch.
15 points now for Waiters. You can see the Spartans face a 6-point deficit.
Oh, he's got hit by Tony Campbell. Kevin Willis playing very good, strong basketball, posting up Granville Waiters down low. Tony Campbell had to come back and help out and committed his second personal foul. Going to the free throw line for 2 is Kevin Willis.
Willis just a 51% free throw shooter on the year. That's about where the Spartans are today. They are just barely over 50% from that line.
Eldon Miller has put in his other little scat back. Ron Stokes is in the game, and I would think that they will go into a spread offense right now.
Willis has 23, and it's 64-59, a 5-point lead for Ohio State. 3 minutes, 25 seconds to go.
I think, I can't say this for a fact, but I would think that's,
For Taylor. Taylor flattened by Gore.
That penetration by those 2 little quick guards is hurting Michigan State right now. Stokes did a good job in driving the baseline. Or Troy Taylor, I should say, did a good job beating once again on the replay. No, it is Stokes. He drives the baseline, goes in, passes off over there, and Troy Taylor is just really knocked into the ground there by Timmy Gore.
Taylor now has 13. Bucks go up by 6. Taylor with 14. Scott Skiles now in for Sam Vincent. Clock at 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Spartans trail by 7.
Really can't take too much time trying to get a shot off. I don't know. That could be goaltending. I think they're calling goaltending on that. Granville Waiters.
14 points for Vincent. Back in is Pollock. Back out is Tim Gore. 66-61 Ohio State. 3:05 to go.
Now, Michigan State is trying to get up here so that they can press. There's a mix-up over at the scorer's table because Larry Pollock had reported in and went back out. Now he comes back in. Ben Tower goes out.
Gore had gone out at first. They wanted Gore to stay in the ballgame. Now we're ready to go. Where are we? There's the free throws. What is that, 20 of 20 for Ohio State?
That's called perfection. That's called perfection.
So you put Indiana. What was Indiana the other night? 31 of 37, I think they were. 31 of 37, 31 of 38. That's 51 of 58 against the Spartans this week.
Ohio State is really going to pay off there, I think. Taylor needs to bring it back out. Run some time off the clock.
Tony Campbell, clock at 2:43. Larry Huggins, watched by Scott Skiles.
You don't even know, trying to put that pressure on them. At some teams you can take chances on and foul them, but this team 20 for 20, you don't know whether that's a good play or not.
Al Gore picks up his second foul. Taylor goes to the free throw line. He obviously hasn't missed tonight. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of them.
On the replay, Huggins with the ball, passes it off to Troy Taylor, and Timmy Gore trying to make a steal. A little too over anxious there, puts too much pressure on Taylor, and he's going to the free throw line.
Put the hex on him. He's hit 10 straight. They haven't missed a free throw all night.
There you are.
See?
There you are.
I told you we'd do it.
Now say something so that we can get a three-pointer.
Now Vincent. Back out for Willis, for Skiles, for Pollock. Vincent. Gore goes after the rebound, and Gore will get the foul as he came sailing in.
Timmy Stokes, good inside position, 5'11". Gets good inside rebound position, and Timmy Gore at 6'3", 6'4", had to go over his back.
2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Ben Tower is in. Tim Gore goes out for the Spartans. And now Stokes goes to the free throw line tonight.
See on that replay again as Vincent goes up for the shot. And right there, Stokes on the inside with Gore going up over his back, 1 plus the penalty.
He's hit both of his tonight.
I'll tell you what, Judd needs to find out what these guys are doing in practice, you know, shooting free throws, because whatever they're doing, it's been perfect for them tonight.
They're 21 of 22 as a team. 68-61, Bucks by 7, 2:10 to play. Skiles.
Pretty good play there by Scott Skiles.
Skiles with 8. Taylor and Waiters have a 2-on-1 with Willis. Goaltending. Doesn't matter, went in anyway, and Waiters has 17.
I'll tell you what, Troy Taylor, even though they got the 2 points out of that, on a 2-on-1 fast break, he sees him all the way, Granville Waiters, and gives it to him. And there's a turnover against Scott Skiles. Ohio State right now is really in control of the game. 1:50 left, 70-63. They got to put it on ice.
Jimmy Gore checking back in. Scott Skiles goes back out. As Huggins now for Ohio State plays it back in. Goes to Taylor. Taylor now.
Don't need anything in there. That's not a smart play. Not a smart play. They don't even need another bucket. Need to run the time off the clock.
Now Vincent for Michigan State. Out for Pollock. Over for Tower. In for Willis. And Willis now with 25.
And that's my player of the game. That's my Michelob player of the game for Michigan State, Kevin Willis.
Willis with 25 points. Has done a pretty good job rebounding as well. And the Spartans falling a little shy here thus far, 70-65 with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go. Willis, though, has really come into his own as a player for the Spartans this year. 25 in this one. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds at Indiana. 19 points, 13 rebounds against Randy Brewer and the Gophers. 17 points, 10 rebounds against Wisconsin. Only 8 points, but 20 rebounds at Northwestern. And 18 points in the ball game that opened the Big Ten season in Iowa.
Oh, he's played extremely well, and he's played against all the good big centers in the Big Ten. So I don't think there's anybody, including Randy Brewer, really, that can really say that they've dominated or played much better than Kevin Willis. But once again, if Michigan State is going to salvage anything, not that we're giving up on them on the Big Ten season, if they're going to get anything out of this season, they've got to get another player that can play for them consistently on the offensive end, night in and night out.
So do you look for any changes when the Spartans come home to face Illinois?
Difficult to say right now. I think there are some players on this team that really don't know their roles, I don't think. And that's very, very important. If you know what you're expected to do, you can get yourself mentally prepared to do that. But when you're one game, you're going to play 5 minutes. Another game, you play, you know, if you play 20 minutes one game, 5 minutes the next game, it's really hard to prepare yourself. Once you understand what your role is, you can better prepare yourself to play that role. And I don't think some of the guys realize what their role is.
Doesn't your role change, though, from game to day? You might be needed for one thing, say, against Indiana, as opposed to another thing against Ohio State, or not?
Oh, I think so. Definitely. Definitely.
Now Stokes for Ohio State.
That's a smart play there by Stokes. They don't even need to score again.
Now, they are in no hurry as Pollock picks up the foul and Huggins will go to the free throw line. He's not too shabby. He's 85%.
Larry Pollock really didn't have a choice there. Had to foul him.
Hockey score for you. 7 minutes to go at Munn Arena. Spartans over Western Michigan 5-4. Michigan State won last night, going away 8-0. Bowling Green came back to beat Northern Michigan 7-5 after trailing earlier. Huggins with 5.
These guys are just uncanny at the free throw line. Not that they're lucky, they're good.
Only their second miss tonight as Sam Vincent goes down for Michigan State. 1 minute 11 seconds on the clock.
That's going to be called on Troy Taylor, and Sam did the right thing. He was going to take it right to the basket. He was not going to be denied, and he's going to the free throw line. I don't know whether he's getting 1 plus the penalty, or he's getting 2.
Sam Vincent Has hit both of his free throws, has 14 points for the evening. Came into the game averaging 16.7. Leading scorer of the Spartan team.
I think they called it a two-shot foul.
Sam has 15.
Michigan State's got to go to the full court press. They've got to try and keep the ball out of Taylor and Stokes' hand.
Also help if they hit the free throws. Huggins getting it across now to Stokes. Stokes has got all night. Finally fouled by Vincent. The foul on Sam is his second. Stokes goes to the free throw line.
Michigan State is forced to play that kind of defense right now. They've got to take chances. They can't lay back.
Clock goes inside a minute. We're down to 57 seconds to play. Ohio State, should they win, would join Iowa, Minnesota, and Purdue tied for second place, one game behind Indiana. Gophers, of course, playing tonight against Northwestern, so they could move even a half a game ahead of the pack or a half a game behind that pack of teams, depending on what they did.
Michigan State, once they get on offense, I don't know whether or not they haven't even attempted. They may have attempted one three-point shot tonight, but there's a time that they really could stand a couple of them to go in for them.
Skiles now. The Spartans trail by 7 and trying to work it into Willis, knocked out of bounds by Waiters.
Granville Waiters did a pretty good job there on a half front. He was just enough in front of Kevin Willis to knock that ball out of bounds.
We've had 3 pointers taken in the ball game. 2 by Ohio State, 1 by Michigan State. They've all missed. Howard lost the ball. Waiters up with it for Ohio State, off for Huggins, 40 seconds to go. Over now for Taylor. Taylor into the front court for the Bucks. And Skiles has fouled out for the Spartans. He leaves with 31 seconds to go. Scored a total of 8 points. And Tim Gore will be checking back in. Look on the faces of the Spartan rooters back over behind the bench. Dave Zizick made the trip again. Herb Hattner. And company. Orly Miller, his wife Ruth.
Then the ability, more than anything else tonight, of Ohio State to hit the free throw.
Vincent now for Michigan State. Three-pointer. So Vincent with a three-point bomb. He now has 18 points. That makes it 73-69.
It ain't over yet.
23 seconds to go.
Now, if they can get a steal, if Michigan State can get a steal, and get them another quick basket, preferably a three-point basket, be a lot of pressure on Ohio State. It's going to come down to the ball handling ability and the free throw shooting of Ohio State, and they've done both well tonight, I think.
They've done very well, except the last couple of times they've started to miss a bit. Well, that's what's allowed the Spartans to come back and get the three-point bomb by Vincent and trail by only 4 with 23 seconds to go.
Well, I think Michigan State got to come out and go right for the foul. They cannot allow 5, 6, 7 seconds to elapse off the clock, and then they go on and foul them. You know, I think they've got to foul them as soon as that ball comes into play.
They can't be too choosy about who they foul.
Oh, no. I'll tell you, I didn't think Ohio State was going to be as good as they are this year, especially after losing somebody like Clark Kellogg, because I thought they were just an average team last year with him. And now that he's gone, and they really didn't get anybody else coming in that, you know, that's a heck of a player.
They're a pretty good average team with him last year, though. They were 12-6, tied for second, 121 games. People were thinking they were going to be lousy last year because they lost Williams and Smith off the team the year before. For a while there, the consensus was they probably had too many stars and only one basketball to go around.
They had Kelvin Ramsey, who was a heck of a basketball player. All right, we see Michigan State going into the full court press, and they're going to have to create some contact right away. Go for the steal, and if you don't get it, make sure you hit somebody.
23 seconds to go. Huggins trying to get the ball in, having some difficulty.
That should be 5 seconds. Yes, that's a good play. Good defense there by Michigan State. Now, Huggins, the senior, he should have known, and he should be counting to himself. When he can't get that ball in, as we see Patrick Ford coming in, but when Huggins, he should have been counting to himself. When he got to 1,003, he should have called timeout right there. Sam's got to look at it.
Rebound taken down by Stokes.
That's right. That's okay, though. That was an opportunity. It was the opportunity that State needed. They played good defense. They got the three-point shot off. They missed it. And Larry Pollock, that's the right thing to do. He fouled.
Well, had Vincent gotten that one home, it would have been 73-72. And it came close to going home.
It did.
Now Stokes goes to the line. He has hit all 6 of his free throws tonight. Seven for 7, 74-69. Ohio State by 5.
In order for Michigan State to send this one into overtime, if he hits this, they can forget it.
He misses. Tower grabs the ball. 14 seconds to play. Larry Pollock, he wants to get rid of it, get it over to a scorer. Ford stripped to the ball by Taylor.
Good play there. Good play there. That should be it.
And that's the ball game. It goes into the book 74-69 for Ohio State here on the Spartan Basketball Network.
Now, the Starving Artist Group can help you change any room in your home from this to this. Or this. For one weekend only, a spectacular new collection of original oil paintings will be on sale at rock-bottom Starving Artist prices. Believe it or not, there's nothing over $39. A huge collection from talented professional artists, and nothing over $39.
Starving Artists Group Art Sale this Sunday only, Civic Center Lansing and Holiday Inn Jackson, noon to 5 p.m.
The all-new Lansing Leather is bigger and better than ever. Located in Frandor's new addition, Lansing Leather is where smart shoppers go to get more for their money. This regular $199 cycle jacket is Lansing Leather priced at just $109. Keep warm in sheepskin coats of every length starting at $149. Save up to 40% on the retail price of designer apparel by Jordache, Anne Klein, and Sergio Valente. The all-new Lansing Leather men's and women's apparel in Frandor's new addition between Sears and Kroger.
Capitol Commons, an unprecedented total living experience. The only one like it in Lansing. Secure, private, but still within walking distance to shopping, entertainment, and key bus routes. Capitol Commons, a link for seniors to a nonprofit food cooperative and a prescription drug delivery service right in the building. Apartments that feature luxury living at reasonable prices. Capitol Commons, take your own guided tour at 500 South Pine. A Capitol community that's not all that common.
8 is Enough is back. Hi, this is Dick Van Patten. Join the whole Bradford gang on 8 is Enough.
Eight is Enough, 6 p.m. weeknights on 47 WFSL TV.
Bob Kurtz and Dave Bing back here at St. John Arena, Columbus. You can see the final numbers there up on your screen, 74-69 for Ohio State. The Spartan Michelob player of the game was Kevin Willis. He had 25 points. Ohio State selected on their network Granville Waiters for his defensive work and his 17 points tonight.
Granville did a good job. We knew coming in that he was under the weather. He had a case of the flu and was a little weak, and he did a very, very outstanding job, I feel. But once again, Kevin Willis was just outstanding, and Sam played his good, steady game, and I think Ben Tower played well tonight. When you get beyond those players there, I don't think anybody else really played an outstanding game for State. And if you're going to win in the Big Ten, or if you're going to win consistently anywhere, you've got to get it from 5, 6, 7 different guys.
So it's going to be the Spartans that leave here under the weather as a team. They are now 2-4 in Big Ten play, so they're 2 games under that 500 mark. As we talked about off the beginning, they got to scrap their way back now.
One of the good things is that they have played pretty well at home. I think they had a good a good chance to beat Minnesota at home, but it does go down as a loss. But they've played very good basketball against some of the better teams in the Big Ten. They've played good basketball on the road. If they can continue to play that way at home, I think they're going to have the advantage because they're playing in the friendly confines up in Lansing and also with the fans, who I think is just super up there. So it'll help them when they get back to Jenison.
Okay, the Spartans and the Illini coming up Thursday night from Jenison Fieldhouse. For our producers, Tom Jones and Al Stedman, good old Dave Bing here. I'm Bob Kurtz, wishing you a very pleasant good evening. Once again, the final score, 74-69. Good night from St. John Arena.